Uso able to work his way free.
In a startling backstage moment at WWE Raw, Roman Reigns, the reigning tribal chief and the undisputed leader of the Bloodline, reportedly delivered a pointed and thought-provoking message to his cousin and longtime tag team partner Jimmy Uso. Sources from inside WWE indicate that Roman, known for his commanding presence both in the ring and behind the scenes, told Jimmy that it was time for him to start focusing more on himself rather than constantly prioritizing the family and faction over his own career and well-being. This moment, while subtle on the surface, carries profound implications for the dynamics within the Bloodline, WWE's top faction, and the trajectory of Jimmy Uso's character and career. The Tribal Chief's perspective. Roman Reigns' evolution into the Tribal Chief has been marked by a blend of authority, manipulation, and guidance. He has positioned himself as the protector, strategist, and enforcer of the Bloodline, ensuring that his family members, including the Usos, thrive under his leadership. Yet, despite his outward display of control and mentorship, Roman has consistently emphasized the importance of self-preservation and strategic thinking. Behind the scenes, this philosophy often manifests in candid, sometimes brutal conversations with those closest to him. The interaction with Jimmy Uso seems to fit this pattern. According to insiders, Roman's message was delivered not in anger but with calculated intention, designed to push Jimmy toward introspection and self-improvement. The essence of the conversation was clear. The WWE Universe may know the Bloodline as a unit, but every member must cultivate their own identity, skills, and resilience to remain relevant in the ever-evolving landscape of professional wrestling. Jimmy Uso, the wrestler behind the mask. Jimmy Uso has long been a central figure in WWE's tag team division, often sharing the spotlight with his twin brother, Jey Uso. Together, the Usos have become synonymous with excellence in tag team wrestling, combining athleticism, charisma, and an innate understanding of storytelling in the ring. However, WWE insiders suggest that Jimmy's dedication to the faction, coupled with his loyalty to Roman, has at times overshadowed his individual aspirations. Roman's advice was reportedly aimed at encouraging Jimmy to develop his own path, physically, mentally, and creatively. By focusing on himself, Jimmy could explore opportunities that extend beyond the Bloodline, potentially carving out a solo legacy while maintaining his family ties. Sources indicate that Roman emphasized that this was not a criticism of Jimmy's abilities, but rather a strategic push to ensure his long-term relevance and impact in WWE. The significance of the conversation. The timing of Roman's advice is particularly important. WWE Raw has been a platform for escalating storylines, with tensions between members of the Bloodline occasionally surfacing in subtle ways. While the faction has largely appeared united on screen, backstage dynamics are often more complex, with loyalty, ambition, and personal goals intersecting in ways that can affect both performance and narrative direction. Roman's directive to Jimmy serves as a potential foreshadowing of character development or storyline shifts that could play out in the coming months. By encouraging Jimmy to prioritize his own growth, Roman is not only reinforcing his leadership role but also planting the seeds for future storylines that may explore themes of independence, ambition, and internal conflict within the Bloodline. WWE writers and producers are likely taking note, understanding that such nuanced backstage guidance can translate into compelling on-screen drama that resonates with fans. Balancing loyalty and individual growth. One of the central tensions highlighted by this interaction is the balance between loyalty to the faction and individual development. Jimmy Uso has spent years cultivating a reputation as a dependable team player, always ready to defend the Bloodline's honor and support Roman's dominance. However, Roman's advice underscores the reality that even in a tightly knit faction, performers must maintain their personal brand, skill set, and physical conditioning to remain competitive in WWE's highly demanding environment. Sources indicate that Roman's counsel was both practical and motivational. He reportedly reminded Jimmy that wrestling is a career with peaks and valleys, and that those who fail to prioritize their own growth risk being left behind, even within a dominant faction like the Bloodline. This type of guidance reflects Roman's experience and foresight as a performer who has successfully navigated WWE's top tier for years, balancing factional loyalty with individual excellence. Potential implications for storylines. The backstage discussion between Roman and Jimmy has several potential implications for future WWE programming. First, it could signal a subtle shift in Jimmy's character, providing an opportunity for him to assert more independence, take on solo challenges, or even explore new alliances. Second, it may create internal tension within the Bloodline, as other members observe Jimmy navigating his own ambitions while still under Roman's leadership. Such tension could become fertile ground for storytelling, blending reality with scripted drama in ways that captivate audiences. Moreover, WWE has historically leveraged backstage insights and real-life dynamics to enhance storylines. Roman's advice could very well inform future promos, in-ring interactions, and feuds, offering fans a glimpse into the complexity of faction dynamics and the psychological depth of its members. The notion of self-focus versus loyalty could be explored through matches, verbal confrontations, or storyline conflicts that resonate both emotionally and narratively. Roman's leadership philosophy. This moment also highlights Roman Reigns' broader leadership philosophy. As tribal chief, he has consistently demonstrated a keen understanding of human behavior, motivation, and influence. His approach is not merely about exerting control, it's about shaping his faction into a cohesive, resilient unit where each member contributes meaningfully while also developing personally. Encouraging Jimmy to focus on himself is an extension of this philosophy, emphasizing preparation, awareness, and foresight. According to backstage sources, Roman framed the conversation in a constructive manner, acknowledging Jimmy's strengths while highlighting areas for growth. This type of mentorship is emblematic of Reigns' approach to leadership, demanding excellence, fostering ambition, and ensuring that loyalty is paired with personal responsibility. Conclusion: a new chapter for Jimmy Uso. The backstage exchange between Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso represents more than just a fleeting moment of advice. It is a catalyst for potential character evolution, faction dynamics, and storytelling innovation in WWE. By urging Jimmy to focus on himself, Roman is preparing him for long-term success, both within the Bloodline and in his individual career. The conversation also underscores the complexity of faction leadership, the importance of personal growth, and the delicate balance between loyalty and ambition in professional wrestling.